and cue music. Yes! Hello YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Melissa back with yet another video. And in this video, I think I'm going to discuss how foster care affected me. First home was definitely very tough because obviously it was like my first foster home, so I was like learning a lot and trying to figure all that stuff out and what was going on and everything. So the first home definitely kind of like scarred me in a way because I was like so little, and like I was having to deal with like all these like grown emotions and things, and I didn't know what was going on, and so it just began that biggest issue for me was rejection. So I felt like I was constantly being rejected by all these homes, and I didn't know how to process all of those different kind of feelings. So that's like one of the biggest deals, and that's where it started. I would say it's the biggest thing, and plus like it really was awful when like I felt like I loved these people, and then they stopped loving me back. So I felt like it became hard for me later on to actually love people, to show love to people, to say that I loved people. It made it really difficult for me, and so it took many years, even into getting married and stuff like that, like just really learning to love again. But it really kind of messed me up. So that was another thing. Second home sucked even more, just because like there is just where I was kind of like tormented verbally a lot, just like trying to hurt me, whether it be like the kids or whether it be like the actual adults. They were just like trying to hurt me. So I remember just like feeling all those different things happening. So I did feel a lot rejection there as well, which was fine in a way because I didn't really want to be with them, but I just wanted somebody to care. And I was like really tight, and then all of a sudden it was awful. So I think, like I said, the biggest thing is going to be right now, I think for overall the foster homes, was like the rejection. I did finally start to feel at home when I went to my final foster home, and I was really liking there. And like if you go back to my previous video, you'll kind of know the details of my final foster home. But it definitely hurt as well there, just because I really loved them, and I really wanted to be there with their family and be their child and everything. And of course it didn't work out, and so like I just kept having to be strong. I kept having to hold back my tears, and like so that just kind of started to that feeling of like, I'm like, no one's ever gonna hurt me again. No one's ever gonna hurt me again. So over all the homes, I'd say the most, it made things difficult for me to love other people, and made it difficult for me to deal with rejection. So I felt like I was constantly rejected. They would try to show love to me, and I'd be like, no, I'd make a joke, and it's fine. Like I would always like laugh it off, and I would make jokes about it all the time, and I would never really address anything seriously. I had a hard time with anybody touching me. Like I didn't like when people hugged me. I didn't like people kissing me. I didn't like them touching me at all. Like I was like, just don't touch me. I went back and forth with my parents quite often. Like they wanted to love me, and I didn't want them to love me. And I remember telling my mom, I'm like, it's like, I'm good. I don't need anybody. I can do this on myself. I'm good to go. And I know like my mom got really worried because like I had such issues in that way, and it was all like based on my heart, and like I just felt I didn't want to get vulnerable. I didn't want to be hurt again. So I kept putting up those walls and using my humor as a defense mechanism. So it was like a constant thing that I've, even to this day, like I have to tell myself like it's okay to cry, it's okay to have feelings, it's okay, because I'm human. Like I know I had to have this kind of rough exterior to protect myself, but I'm also okay. It's okay for me to say what I need to say and not let people bully me, not let people walk over me, because I don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings. But I'm just like, even now, just learning how to speak my mind, and I don't like it, and I don't have to put up with it. I don't have to let other people hurt me intentionally and stuff like that. So I'm learning those things. But yeah, it was really hard on my really hard on my heart. And even when I started dating Marty, you guys know my husband, it took a long time. We dated for like 3 years, but it took a long time for me to really feel like I felt things, but like it was also kind of like at a distance. Like I was like, I love him, but I'm like, can I really trust him with my heart? And so I like struggled with that a lot. And then what's funny is when I started to love Marty and started to accept him more and more, you know, going from, you know, just like dating, you know, he was like my boyfriend, you know, then he was my fiance, then he was my husband. So I learned to like love him as like the future, you know, the man of the house, or as like my boyfriend, as, you know, my fiance. I began to be able to love like my family and my parents. And because I've always like loved them, but it's just really hard to build that connection, especially with my dad. You know, me and my dad went through all like our rough patches and stuff like that, and it's not even like him personally, you know, it's just the attention that I got from males in general, like, you know, in foster care, or like my first home, which I'll probably maybe get into one of the videos. I haven't decided if I'm ready to go into like the details yet. Probably not. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. But like, you know, he kind of got the short end of the stick because it wasn't really him, because my dad's a great guy. If you guys met my dad, he's super nice, very helpful, always willing to, you know, to go the extra mile for anybody, very kind, and and really serving, and stuff like that. But it's just like my stepdad really was abusive towards me as a child. So, and there's like a tiny bit of a resemblance, you know, like the facial hair, stuff like that. So it just made it really hard for me to even have any kind of connection with him. And like I just had a lot of like triggers and stuff like that, and I couldn't really get close to him. So once I got past the tomboy phase and I started becoming a woman, I'm like, no, you know, I just couldn't do it. And I, you know, and the thing is with my dad though, is like he kept trying, you know, like he didn't like just give up on me, I guess. Like he was, of course, kept his distance, like respectfully kept his distance to where, you know, what I was comfortable with, but he always pursued me as like his daughter, and that he loved me and he cared and he just wanted to care for me and stuff like that. And I knew if I really needed to come to him, I always could. You know, there's some things that only your dad can help. Getting to know love in general at first, but so that was a big thing, and I ended up learning to love them and being more open and honest. And you know, nowadays, you know, I love people with everything I have. Like I give everything I can to Marty, you know, like I love hugs. I still have little things, you know, where I'm kind of distant, but it's like things that I'm working on, and it's not something you know, it happens overnight. You know, my parents have been very supportive from the time I got adopted, even beforehand. So I've definitely come a very long way, but it does take time to heal and to really kind of be able to address these issues as an adult and everything like that. So that's just kind of how foster care affected me. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, thank goodness that I had the support that I did. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't be the same thing. But, you know, I was blessed with a good family, so it definitely made things a lot easier for me. I think what I'll do is do something lighthearted for the next video, just to kind of keep it on the end. So maybe I'll do like, I'm thinking about doing maybe a reaction video, maybe a singing video, just something like more lighthearted. So let me know in the comments if you would like something like that. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys. We'll be right back.